So I'll go ahead and start the meeting. Looks like we got quite a few people in here. Right now, you should be seeing the agenda up on the screen. And what we're going to do is introduce the Civic Association Board for the members that are on. And then we'll go through and we'll do a quick budget overview. And we'll talk a little bit of old business. And then I'm going to turn the floor over to Lainey Shiflett from the petition services that we're doing with the county. And she'll step through the petition process. I'll go through the petition forms that I've mailed out that you guys should be receiving in the next, I guess this week. We sent it out Monday, so it should be arriving in your mailboxes sometime this week. And I'll go through what you're going to receive. And I'll show you an example of one of the documents in there because it might be a little confusing on how to actually sign the petitions or not sign it. And then we'll finish up with, we'll let Lainey do her talk, and then when she's done, she can step out, and we'll finish up with any other business that we haven't actually discussed. So I'm trying to minimize the discussion before Lainey talks so we don't waste our time since she's a guest speaker, and then anything we have left over, we can go over. So I'm Dale Johnson. I'm the president. And let me stop sharing my screen real quick, and I'll go back to that a little bit. All right. So I'm Dale Johnson. I'm the president. And then Troy, I guess you can go ahead and go next.
Hey, I'm Troy Benish, and I'm the secretary.
Is Susan on? She may not be on. Lene Ruther is our vice president, who her position isn't going to be gapped, so we're looking for somebody to fill her role. So if you're interested in becoming the vice president of Civic Association, then please contact us. I see Andrew Gay on. Go ahead, Andrew, introduce yourself.
I'm Andrew Gay. I'm with Steve Lloyd. We do the architecture review.
Awesome. You do a great job, too. Right. Steve Lloyd. I don't see your name. Are you on?
I don't think he's on. He had, I think, was stuck with work today.
Okay.
So.
Monica's here. She's on. You have to talk.
Oh, I'm muted. Hi, I'm Monica.
And right now, I don't think anybody else is on except for Lisa. And since she'll be the next one that's going to introduce herself, she's going to introduce herself, and then she's going to step right into the budget. And I'll pull, actually, I won't pull it up. You can just go ahead and talk through the budget. Do you want me to share my screen with the budget up while you're talking, or you just want to talk on video, Lisa?
It doesn't matter. I mean, if you want, it might be nice for people to see the budget. Do you want me to share my screen?
I've got it up, so I'll share my screen and put that up for you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. And if you could go to page 2 first, sorry. The budget is on page 2, and then the proposed budget is on page 1. That would be great, Dale. Thank you. So hi, I'm Lisa Warden, the treasurer, and I will just briefly talk about our budget of this year. So as we end the fiscal year, we are ending with a balance of $22,500, and we collected 65% of dues this year, and that was a total of $10,152.81. So our expenses from this year were approximately $5,604, and we did have a profit of $4,300 from our directory ads, so that helped with our budget this year. In general, we spent in our general things, which are mailings and our newsletters, our marker maintenance, mowing, just general expenditures, we spent $1,590. You can see originally it was $5,900, but because of the profit, that came down to $1,500. We have, so our main amount of money goes to our social events, And we have 3 big social events that we host: National Night Out, Fall Festival, the Holiday Party, and then we also do a holiday house decoration contest. And the total of those items were $3,300. We also decided this year to buy a hot dog machine with a bun warmer and a condiment station to use at our fall festival and our events. And I think it went well this year. We did make a profit of about $200 at our fall festival selling hot dogs. We'll continue to do donations. We typically give donations of $8.75. However, this year, due to school closures, we did not donate to the Woodson Drug free graduation party. So we've only spent $710. So that is our grand total of $5,604. So that's sort of an overview of this year. And then Dale, if you wouldn't mind to go back up to the top page, thank you. In our proposed budget, we feel that we'll collect the same amount of dues over the last 4 years. It's always around $10,000, about 63 to 65%. So we're actually collecting more dues now than we have in the past couple years. We expect this year to spend about $15,000, and most of the budget is staying the same, but I'm going to outline the big ticketed items. So it'll be about $800 for the trash collection, distribution, and the mailings to homes that Dale and Lene are going to speak about in a few minutes. And then the other big ticketed item is that we would like to do the curb paintings again. Those are your house numbers and some street names throughout our neighborhood. And we estimate that to be about $6,500. And finally, the last thing that we added on for our holiday party, if some of you have been there in the past, you know that we have games and stuff out on all the tables for families to play, and they're getting pretty worn out. So we'd like to propose like purchasing new board games, and that would probably be about $200. But everything else, you can see donations are all staying the same. So it'll be about approximately $15,000. So that concludes my budget review.
All right, thanks, Lisa. All right, so that was the budget. And if everybody can hold their comments like towards the end, or if you want to write them down, and I'll open this up later towards comments and questions. So try to keep the meeting rolling here on schedule and give Lainey her dues. We'll try to hold all those questions to the end. So if you have anything, just write it down, and we'll go over it at the end of the meeting. All right, so what I want to do right now is just quickly talk about COVID-19, and I'm sure most of you are on probably the Facebook page and everything else, but we have a lot of old homeowners, original homeowners in our neighborhood. So when you're out doing your walk and you're looking around, make sure that in your immediate area, if you could check on your neighbors at the normal social distancing and make sure that they're okay. And if they need any assistance with pharmacy pickup or groceries or anything like that, please help them out if you can. If you can't, then let us know that you have a neighbor that's in need, and contact us, and then we'll find a way to try to assist them the best way that we can. So please look out for your neighbors in this time. Also, you know, if anybody has lost their job or anything and they're having difficulties with food or anything like that, please let us know, and we'll see what we can do to try to help our neighbors out. Let's take care of each other. So one thing I want to talk, the next thing I'll talk about is the mailer. So because of COVID, and the petition process that we're going through, there's still a due date to have the petition sent to the Fairfax County. I think they may have, Elaine will talk about that, whether they've extended or not, but we're still shooting for June 30th to have our petition together with the results. So the original plan was to just kind of go around with the block captains and make sure everybody's been contacted, and they had a chance to sign the petition or petitions, which one they wanted to support. that is not really possible right now. So what we did is we put together a mailer. We sent it to the printer, kind of like we do with the Gazette, and we attached a prepaid envelope with the mailer. So you'll be able to sign the petition or say that I don't support the petition or petitions, and you'll be able to put that back into a prepaid envelope, put it out with your mail. That'll come to my house, and I'll collect all the results and tabulate them as I get them in, and I'll keep you guys up to date on where we stand with the different petitions. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you the signature page because it might be a little confusing. So let me pull that up real quick. All right, so this is the signature page. So what you're going to get is a letter from me saying, here's the instructions, and I'm not going to read all that. You can actually look it up on the Civic Association website. I've actually put the mailer on there. So if you don't receive it, you can go to the CWCivic.org and print this out, and then either mail it or walk it down to my house, whatever you want to do. But what you're going to see is there's the instruction page, and then there's two attachments. Attachment 1 basically has the trash collection and yard waste services, and it talks about them, saying, hey, what services are actually available. And then it has the leaf collection services on the other side of that, which is also attachment 1, talking about what's applicable for the leaf collection services. This page is a signature page, and it is essentially petition number 1, attachment number 2, and petition number 2, attachment number 2. There's 2 petitions. So the first one you're seeing on here, petition number 1, is if you support the trash, recycling, collection, and yard waste, and also the vacuum and leaf collection petition. If you want both of those services, then you sign that top portion here. Signature, you print your last name, street address, and your phone number. If you also support the trash collection, yard waste, you'd sign that too. So if you're for both of them, you're going to sign in 2 places. You're going to sign in the top, and you're going to sign in the bottom. If you're only interested in the leaf collection services, you would only sign the second one. Oh, sorry. You would only sign, I guess I don't have just a leaf collection. So if you support both of them, you sign in both places because there is 2 different petitions. Both of them have the trash, recycling, yard waste. The top one includes vacuum leaf collection. So if you want to support the trash collection and yard waste and the leaf collection, you would sign in both spots. If you only want to sign and support the trash collection and yard waste, you'd only sign petition number 2. If you don't support either petition, you would sign below where it says, I have been contacted and do not wish to sign either petition. And if you're not the homeowner, then put the information of the homeowner at the bottom of the page so that we can contact the homeowner. Only the homeowners can actually sign the petition, somebody who's the legal owner of the home. If you're a renter, you may support the petition, but you cannot sign it as a homeowner. So again, if you got any questions, let's hold those to the end. But I just wanted to go over that briefly. And like I said, it may be a little confusing, so I apologize if it's confusing. It wasn't meant to be. And at this time, I am going to turn over the floor to Lainey to talk about the petition process.
Solid waste. Dale did a really good job explaining how things go. This is the second one, so some of you may have already heard the whole the 411 on how this goes, but for those of you that didn't listen to the first one, I can go over everything again. So a little history on the sanitary districts. We've been collecting refuse since the 50s. It was 1955, and it came at the request of the county citizens to provide an alternative to the private collection service. Sanitary districts are the collection areas. That's if you ever hear us talk about sanitary districts, that's what you guys would be put into if yours gets created. They are established by the Board of Supervisors through the Virginia State Code. They're only created at the request of property owners within a defined area. The collected fees are for a specific use of providing the service, and they're not authorized for any other use. Let's see. This is based on the authority of the Virginia State Code, which provides in part that the local governing body is empowered to levy a tax on all properties within a sanitary district in order to pay for the expenses of the service for which that district was created. So there's 3 different types, or there's 2 different types that you guys can petition for. The first one is refuse, recycling, and backyard waste. The backyard waste is normally 10 months out of the year. I'm not sure right now, your private haulers may have put a halt to the backyard waste. I know we did with our customers because of the COVID and for many reasons, but normally it would be refuse, recycling, and backyard waste all once a week on the same day. So if you guys were to be put into a sanitary district, if your route was on a Friday, you would have 3 trucks coming on Fridays. For this fiscal year, which ends June 30th, the rate is $3.85, and that comes on your real estate taxes biannually. With everything with the budget right now, I'm not sure if any of you keep up with that. I'm not sure what's going to happen. The rates could stay the same. They could go up. I actually just sent an email to my finance supervisor, and he said everything kind of got pushed back. So we should know what the rate for this coming fiscal year will be in the middle of May. I think he said May 18th. So if some of you want to know about the rate change, there is time if you want to hold off on signing until after the new rates for this coming fiscal year comes out. The other thing that people can petition for is the vacuum leaf collection. So Dale had me put together the 2 petitions, which he just described. The other one includes vacuum leaf, and that is 3 collections that take place between November and January. Residents will rake their leaves to the curb, and a truck comes through and vacuums them up. For this fiscal year, it is 0.012 cents for every $100 the assessment of your house. So everyone will be paying a little bit of a different rate. And that is also, it's a different fee that's on your real estate taxes. So if you didn't see the, if you are looking at your real estate taxes, it would be listed differently than the refuse fee. So there's 3 different types of sanitary districts when it comes to petitioning. One is creating, and that's the one you guys are doing. If there's not an existing district near a resident that wants to petition, you have to have at least 50 homes to be on the map. So you guys definitely pass that number. Another option is enlarging. So let's say you guys create your sanitary district and there's a street next to yours that wasn't included on your map. They can petition to enlarge into your district. When you enlarge, you have to go for the same services that the existing district has. So let's say you guys do the trash and the vacuum leaf. If you were to enlarge, they would have to get the trash and vacuum leaf as well. Another one is called decreating, recreating, and we do a lot of those. Some residents, they are in an area that doesn't do the vacuum leaf, and they want to add the vacuum leaf service. So they will petition to decreate their sanitary district and then recreate it to include that service. And one last one, which is not common, is the decreating. So let's say your neighborhood does create a sanitary district and you guys end up not liking it at all. You want to get out of it. Normally, we do not decreate due to sanitary districts being created for the benefit of the entire community. If you were to want to decreate, it has to come at the request of the Board of Supervisor. It is possible. They're not as common though. And we really don't get many requests to decreate. A lot of people are very happy with our service once, if they get put into a sanitary district. So for the petitioning process, I normally will receive a phone call or an email from a resident saying that they want to either create, enlarge, or decreate, recreate. And once we go over the logistics, you know, it has to be at least 50 homes. They provide their address. I get the route maps from our route supervisor, and I see if there's any existing sanitary districts around them. We come up with a map. Sometimes we go back and forth many times. Once we agree on one, I send that to another team member and they create this map. One of the rules too is it can't be skipping over houses. It has to be completely contiguous. I get that question a lot from residents. I want to know why their house was either added or not added to a map. In order to provide good service, we don't want to just skip over every other house and then get missed pickups. So we found this process to really work out. So once the map is created, I have a meeting with our operations manager. It's probably about 5 of us that sit down and we go over lots of maps from all the ones I've created from residents, and they decide if they're either going to support that petition or not support that petition. About 50% of the maps that come, we decide we are going to support, and that's based off location, how busy the trucks are on that day, would we have to hire new people? There's a lot of factors that we look into. Even if we aren't going to support one of those maps, the resident still has the right to petition. All it means if we aren't going to support it is if they get the 55% and it goes to a public hearing, we would state there to the board members that we wouldn't support it. But normally they want to please you guys. So from what I've been told, I'm newer in this position, they normally still go along with it, and we figure out how we're going to add in and what we need to do to get the job done. So I collect completed petitions twice a year. One is January 30th, and that is so collections can start July 1st, the start of the fiscal year. The other deadline is June 30th, and that's so collections can start January 1st. As of right now, while we do have a hold on creating, enlarging new sanitary districts, I haven't been told that that deadline is going away or we're going to move it, because we do like to stay on that timeline. For example, I had 12 maps going to public hearing May 5th. They all are, they pulled them all. So now we got to figure out how to get that in so we can still have the same start dates and everything. So as of right now, petitions are still supposed to be getting collected for the few that we were able to get out before COVID started. But if for some reason the deadlines change, I'll let Dale know and let you guys know. But we did advise, don't go door to door to collect signatures right now. If you can do anything through the mail or online surveys or email, that's acceptable. But I'm also not collecting any completed petitions until the state of emergency is dropped. So for collecting signatures, I just kind of mentioned that about half the neighborhoods that petition, they have an email listserv. A lot that have an HOA, they seem to have that. So you can collect through email. And as long as they answer certain questions, that's acceptable. The paperwork that Dale put together is great. So you guys are right on track for that. All the signatures, they need to verify the homeowner's name, the address, that they do own the house, and that they approve signing the survey going around the petition, and they know all the logistics with it. You know, it's not like a free service and anything like that. So what else? So after you guys submit the petition back, if you get the 55%, there's a lot of different things that take place right after that. I had to go to the board to get permission to advertise for the public hearing. No one would go to that. Once they approve the advertisement, then I will send out letters to everyone letting them know that there's going to be a public hearing. Everyone's allowed to come and talk at the public hearing. There is no rules against that. If you don't want to go, but you want to submit some comments, you will contact the clerk of the board. All that is in the letter. And you, of course, my number's on there and everything, so you can call me with any questions. And so once the public hearing takes place, the board votes right then if they're going to either create it or not. And if it does get created, then it's considered a resolution. I get the resolution, then I'm in contact with Department of Tax and our collections. We make sure carts get delivered. You guys are told what day. I send out letters to everyone. And we try to give enough notice about, if it is going to go to public hearing, so you guys can contact your current haulers and make sure you're not like overlapping with payment or anything. So if you guys have any questions, you can let me know. And Dale also has my email, so he can give it out to you guys if you guys do have any questions until this COVID is over and past.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lainey. And right now, what I'd like to do is open the floor up for any questions for Lainey. So right now I have everybody muted, so you have to unmute yourself, and then after you're done with your question, if you could please mute yourself again so that we don't have multiple people talking at the same time. It makes it hard to hear the question. So floor is open to anybody who wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
I have a question for Lainey.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure, I think I understand that a person just can't just get the leaf collection, right? You have to also be getting the trash service and the leaf.
Yep, that's correct. So how it works, if the vacuum leaf, it's an all or none. So if you want the vacuum leaf for sure, and only the vacuum leaf, you would have to get the trash with it. So you would, but if you really don't want the trash, but you definitely want the vacuum leaf, then I guess if you want to just sign the petition that includes the vacuum leaf with the trash. And then I think Dale's going to take whichever one is the high, gets more signatures. I can't really remember how he's going to do it, but yes, the vacuum leaf that is included, and you can't take that, just that one service.
And I have one more question. So everyone gets, oops. Okay, you go, Mihi.
No, I'm just saying hello because I just got in. Sorry.
Hi, me.
Hello.
So can I go back to my question?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So just to make sure I understand that everyone will be charged a different fee depending on their property tax on their home.
Yes, for the vacuum leaf. So numbers
For the whole, or is it just the leaf? I'm sorry. Can you?
Yep. So the trash for this fiscal year, and that's for, sorry, it's kind of like dark in here. The trash for the this fiscal year is for the trash, recycling, backyard waste, and that's $3.85 across the board. That's what every resident will pay. For the vacuum leaf, it's 0.012 cents for every $100 the assessment of your house. So if your house is about $500,000, it's about $60 a year. If your house is $1 million, then it's about $120 a year.
Okay, so it's the trash it's the leaf that varies. Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure I was writing it down correctly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's only for the vacuum, right? If we collect them and put them aside as a recycle, that would not be charged extra.
If you're in the sanitary district that includes vacuum leaf, everyone will be paying for the vacuum leaf. Even if you don't set it out, if you don't participate, you still get charged it on your real estate taxes. So if you only want the trash, then you would only want to sign the petition for the trash. You wouldn't want to sign the vacuum leaf one.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Why do I look so orange?
You look tan.
I wish.
Yeah, hi, this is Jean Lee. Can I ask a question here?
Of course.
I'm concerned that the way the petition is written, and Dale explained it to us, but I'm concerned that people getting this in the mail, unless it's written out somewhere, may not realize that if they sign, let's say they want to get the trash and leaf, so they sign petition 1,
Mm-hmm.
but they may not think that they have to sign petition 2 now,
Mm-hmm.
because what they really want is both things.
Yeah,
But of course, if
that's
they
right.
couldn't get the
So
leaf, they'd still want the trash.
no,
Mhm.
that's correct, and you're spot on. That's the reason I said this may be a little confusing since we're running 2 petitions at the same time. I put that in the instruction letter that comes in the mailer, but I am a little bit afraid, like you are, that they may not understand it. So if there seems to be a big discrepancy in the percentages of people signing the top versus the bottom, then I'll have to go back and contact the owners individually and say, hey, do you understand? Do you support both or only one?
Okay. I had one more question, just because our neighborhood, it seems like we have so many cars that park on the street. Does that work for a leaf collection? Like when the big truck comes through and they have to suck all those leaves up, and you have to have access to the curb. You can't have a car parked there, right?
Correct. So I believe, I telework today, so I don't have any of my stuff here, but I believe it's with the leaves have to be within 4 feet of the curb. So I think that people wouldn't, if you're raking your leaves to the curb, cars wouldn't be able to park. They'd be in the middle, if there were leaves on both sides of the street, I don't think cars would be able to park outside of the leaves. So you might, if I don't know if in your neighborhood a lot of people have driveways, that would probably be the best bet for people to pull there on the days that, a couple days before, whenever people choose to rake their leaves to the curb.
Yeah, we'd have to put on the Civic Association website and stuff like that. The leaf vacuum collection only happens 3 times per season. So we'd have to make sure that word gets out, and we can put the sandwich board signs out and everything else, for the prior to those dates, making sure that people clear the streets as much as possible so you can get your leaves out there. But if you're the one who's bringing your leaves out, you know that you're putting your leaves out, and therefore you're not going to park in the same spot. I guess the only hindrance would be if somebody that's not at your home parks in the spot where you want to put the leaves.
And we also, put out the dates that the trucks are going to be coming on our website. I think that you can get on an email listserv. I think we even put signs out throughout the community too. I'll have to check with our collections folks and confirm that. But I know there's multiple different avenues for getting the word out for the dates for each of the neighborhoods that we go through and vacuum.
Hello, I do have a question.
Yes.
So for those neighborhoods where the leaf collection they subscribe to the leaf collection 3 times a year, do you have statistics that show what percentage of the homes actually put leaves out?
I do not. I don't know. I can tell you for the people, I get a lot of calls from residents after we start petitions that voice their concerns. And I may get a handful of people saying, I have a lawn service that comes and does my leaves and they really don't want to have to pay for it. But I don't know how many people choose not to do it after they're paying for it.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there were statistics of, there's 100 houses in the neighborhood and the trucks vacuumed up leaves only at 32 or something like that.
Yeah, I can try to I'll try to get that information.
Yeah, it just seems to me there'd be a number of reasons that would be inconvenient or whatnot to get those leaves out there. I personally wouldn't care to have the leaf service, but that's just me because I don't really have any trees in my yard.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Laney, I got a question that came through on chat. Somebody's on the phone and they're having a hard time unmuting their mic. But the question was essentially this: if we go to county trash collection services, in the past we had Republic and American disposal services that would be coming through our neighborhood. Now, what if they continue to come through our neighborhood to get to the other neighborhoods around us? Do we have any recourse to, or do you guys as a county have any ability to tell them, hey, stop cutting through Canterbury Woods to get to these other neighborhoods, take the street and take their streets into their neighborhood, stop taking our streets?
I don't believe that has never come up. When I used to work with the enforcement team, we never had any issues. Sometimes we would get residents that would call and complain about private haulers that are speeding. And what we would do is just call up their supervisors and let them know that they had a truck that was speeding through a neighborhood. And a lot of these trucks now have GPS. But as far as telling them they can't drive on a certain street, I don't think we are allowed to do that.
Okay, just curious, because like in our neighborhood, you don't have to go through our neighborhood to access in this case Stonehaven or Red Fox Forest.
Mm-hmm.
However, you could definitely cut through. So I think that would be an issue with me too if they continue to roll their trucks through our neighborhood all the time trying to get to those other neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you could do? If that did become an issue, you could submit a complaint with the company. You could let us know. I mean, we could give them a heads up, but I don't think we could like forbid them from doing it. So I don't want to make any promises.
Okay.
I have a question, Susan. If this passes, how does each individual homeowner have to tell American or Republic or Bates or whoever they have now? I assume each individual person has to tell their trash service and have them come and pick up their receptacles, right?
Mm-hmm. So when we have a public hearing that's about to take place, we had 12 maps that were going to come up for public hearing May 5th. I send an email out to all the supervisors of the private trash companies, giving them a heads up that there's areas that are petitioning, just so they know. I'm really new to this, so I'm not sure if, if they even really look at the email, but it is up to the residents' responsibility to let their hauler know, I need to be ending service, or even if you give them a heads up, find out how soon you need to cancel. I'm not sure if it's a month or 3 months out, or how, if there's like a certain amount of time you have to give them. I know once you cancel service, they have to pick up their cans within 10 business days, because I've gone on complaints for certain trash companies that haven't come to pick up their cans from residents. So if they don't, then and the county ends up having to pick them up, then we keep them. So they normally want to pick them up.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have just a question. I don't know whether you can answer this question or not, answer, but what are the biggest disadvantage that you have experienced from comments or complaints that people are having using the county versus the private company?
I would say probably that once you're in it, your lot is in it for life. So if you were to sell the house, the new resident, they have Fairfax County as their collector. It's not an option. So if, for example, if you didn't like Republic, you could cancel Republic and get American. If you didn't like American, you get Bates. There's so many different options. I believe we have around like 15 to 20 given haulers in Fairfax County. They all don't collect in certain areas, but there's a lot of options. So you have, more of a choice. So I think that's a huge factor when people don't want Fairfax County to be their collector, is that you're kind of with
Stuck.
us. Yeah. Yeah, more or less.
Gotcha.
Yes, you're stuck.
Gotcha.
You can't shop around for prices.
Right.
But then some of the positives are you get 5 free bulk pickups a year, where the private haulers don't do that. And it comes on your real estate taxes. However people choose to pay their taxes, or if it comes, the mortgage company. So some people really like that option too. They like the trucks all coming on the same day, so they don't have trucks coming through their neighborhood throughout the week every single day.
So I think one question that was brought up last time that I thought was a good question was, I was under the misconception that if you have Fairfax County trash collection services, that you couldn't pay additional money and have Republic and American. So you can still pay extra money if you want to have American and Republic, but I don't see an advantage of that. But there's nothing stopping you from doing that, correct?
Correct. So a lot of the haulers have recently gone down to once a week collections. They kind of are like moving their way through the county of all, doing that. So there's a lot of families that still want the twice a week collection. So I know we've had people call up and complain, and they end up hiring 2 different haulers to come pick up their trash. So they still get that twice a week collection. There's nothing stopping you. It's just if you have the funds to pay for 2 haulers and you really want that, then that is totally up to you.
Now, can we have multiple containers from the county, and do we have to pay extra? Let's say that we want regular trash, we want 2 large trash container bins instead of 1. Is that an option, and do we have to pay extra for it?
Yes, let me see if I can get you the exact.
Michael, stop.
So you get 1 recycling can, and you get 1 refuse can. I can't remember what size they come in. Let me see. No, I don't have that with me, but you get 2, they're larger sizes. If you want an additional can, you can purchase that separately through the county, and they'll bring it to you. And then for yard waste, you can buy your own can. You don't have to use the paper bags. You don't have to purchase those. If you wanted to purchase your own like plastic can from somewhere, you can do that as well.
So is that a one-time purchase for the container?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. If you got the additional container, yep, that's a one-time purchase.
I have a question for the bulk pickup.
Yes.
Is that scheduled through is that a predetermined day, or do residents contact you guys ourselves, or is that the Civic Association going, we want to plan May 5th as bulk pickup day?
Nope. Actually, residents, they call up individually. So if you had, a big TV, a mattress, something you need to get rid of, you would contact our collections team, and they have ladies that are dedicated to answering that phone, and they schedule your bulk pickup right then and there. And I think that they can schedule them pretty fast right now. Or just in general, it's really easy. I've seen them do it. They just put in the little ticket, and the guys know to come by your house and pick up whatever items you have at the curb. And I know a lot of people really like those 5 free every year. It comes in handy.
Yeah, Dale, if we do go with this, Dale, it might be something where we want to like advertise and try and pick a day or 2 so that we don't have the bulk trash pickup truck coming, 6 days in 2 weeks because everybody scheduled it differently.
Yeah, so I guess that brings up a good point. So if I as an individual homeowner schedule a trash pickup bulk, is that on the same day as the regular trash pickup, or is that any day that I want it?
I think no. I think it'd be any day that they at least have available, because the trucks, they plan out those routes they go through and do reroutes, and those trucks, I mean, they plan them down, you know, yeah, we can add an extra 10 houses on this truck, or no, we can't. So it's a different truck that comes for the bulk pickups. As far as I know. Now, if for some reason the truck was empty and they saw the bulk pickup out and they know that there was a scheduled pickup, maybe they would put it in the truck and then close that ticket out. But as far as I know, it's a separate truck that comes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Andrew, that was a good point. That may be something, if we go to county, we might consider in the future, is maybe have 1 or 2 bulk pickup days out of the season that are community-wide, to try to minimize the number of trucks coming through for bulk pickups.
So going back to the number of containers, so if there's typically 1 container is a trash container is sufficient. But let's say, you know, you have that week that was extra heavy, you had a weekend, you know, birthday party or something, you have extra trash. Can you put out a separate, like just my own container that I put things in, or does it have to be in a county receptacle, or can I put a couple bags next to it? I mean, how does that work?
No, I believe you can put out an additional can. You can put out, I'll have to check on the bags, but I believe you can put out an additional can, and that's not an issue at all. I think it's just if you wanted to purchase one through the county, it's a one-time fee. And I believe it's $80 for an additional can. And I think they're 96 gallons, the ones that you get for free.
Yeah, I was just asking for that. Those rare occasions where you might have had a lot of extra trash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, Dale, I was just saying that I know we're trying to figure out a set of dates, specific dates for pick up the bulks, but I think one of the perks is that you get to choose whatever day you want to do that. So I don't think we should put any saying, oh, let's do it. I mean, if somebody wants to do that, a bunch of neighbor wants to do that, that's fine, but I don't think we should make it a something like, okay, these are the bulk pickup days. You know, these are the 5 times for the year.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that that we would have to say that you have to use one of your pickup days for this, but I would say that we could like offer up dates that, hey, in order to minimize the bulk pickups, if you have like spring cleaning after the yard sale or something, here's a day where, so it wouldn't be like a mandatory thing or like you have to use one of your bulk pickup days for that. It'd be like, hey, let's try to coordinate, and if we can all do it on the 18th of May, let's all do it on the 18th of May. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay. That's it.
All right, I don't see any other questions through chat. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I was just going to say to Mihi, because she came late, that Mihi, you can mute yourself so that if somebody in your house is talking or something, it's not, you know, we don't hear it. She just
yes, my foul-mouthed boy over there.
You have a little mute icon, so.
That's all right. She makes the meeting interesting. That's good. All right, Landy, do you have any departing words before we let you go? Before you go, I want to tell you that we really appreciate your time. This is the second time that you've been with us. It's been fantastic working with you. You've been so pleasant and you've been so helpful that I can't believe you actually work for the county. No, I'm just kidding. But,
right, I get that a lot.
But,
thank you. If anyone has questions, you know, I feel bad that I don't have like someone from collections here with me. And, you know, if you guys do have a HOA meeting that's before the deadline and this pandemic ends, you know, I can definitely come. Might have to bring my 2 toddlers, but I can definitely come and talk to you guys if you guys have any other questions or point you guys in the right direction. But email, you guys can go ahead and send me anything you guys might still be wondering about, because I know this is a big deal, committing to something like this. I've lived in the county my entire life, so I definitely get how much we all pay already and having another fee or tax on top of that. So I want to help you guys, understand it fully without committing to something. So feel free to give out my email. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And
All right.
have a great night. And thank you so much for all your help.
Of course. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, so back on the budget again, real quick, I wanted to go over a couple of things that Lisa had mentioned. One of them was the curbs, the address numbers on the curbs. In the past, we had those numbers painted, and the last time we did it was about 3 years ago, and it was about $5,000 that we paid. What we kind of looked at this time is I looked into getting like a aluminum back sticker that you actually put on the curb, or another type of sticker. And about 6 months ago, I got both of those different types sent to my house, and I put those two different types of stickers on my driveway, one on each side, just to see how they look and to see how they would preserve and last. There's a difference in price. So if you're interested in looking in to see how that looks, I've posted that on the Facebook page, the pictures of it in one of the posts. And you could just drive by my house also and take a look. But the aluminum back stickers look nicer. They're about $12 an address, so the cost would be a little bit higher, which was why we estimated $6,500 versus the $5,000. It doesn't glow at night, but it does reflect nicely at night when the lights hit it, so it's easier to see, and it is a little bit more durable. But you actually have to take the sticker backing off, and then you have to pound it into the curb with a rubber mallet pretty good, and you need to clean the curb before you do it. So the board voted to buy the stickers, but we haven't bought them yet because we're still trying to figure out how we would actually get them installed on the curbs without incurring extra cost. So we're trying to look into how to actually do that. So that $6,500 is that you saw in the budget did not include installation of those addresses. And it didn't include buying the street names either. So that was just the numbers itself. Does anybody have any questions or comments on anything that we covered before Lainey spoke, and also afterwards? And I see in the chat here, I got a question: what is the life expectancy of the stickers? So the stickers were actually going to be manufactured in California, and they basically have a 1-year warranty on them. So if something happens within the first year, the company will send us a new one. However, I mean, they're still in the curb, and you can see on mine where the tire hit it, and it did damage it a little bit, but they're more durable than actually the paint. The paint wears off fairly quickly. I mean, after you paint the curves, you basically the next year you can see where they don't look as nice in about a year. So I can't put a life expectancy on the stickers itself. It all depends on the abuse that it gets throughout the year, but it does last longer than the paint. So I would say I've had mine on there for 6 months, and I can't really tell other than that one mark where somebody hit it with a tire. The other type is an actual plate, which we don't want to do, in my opinion. It's more expensive, and there's a lot more prep work to actually install those. So I hope that answers that question. Does anybody else, I'll open this up for anybody else, either from the board or from the audience that wants to ask any other questions on the budget or any questions you have in general.
Hi, everyone. This is Greg. A question about the stickers, the aluminum stickers. Are there any other neighborhoods around us that installed them more than a year or two ago that we would be able to bike or walk or drive by so we could see how they are holding up?
Not that I'm aware of. The company that I'm trying to get this from is in California, and there's a bunch of neighborhoods throughout the country that have used them, and he has his opinion on how long they'll last, but there's nothing absolute about that. The fact that he gives a 1-year warranty on it, to me, says a lot. I don't think anybody who paints our curbs is going to give a 1-year warranty on their paint. So that does say a little bit to the durability of it. And you're more than welcome to see mine. Like if you walk by my house, it's only been there for about 6 months. So that's about as good as I can offer you right now.
And a second question related for snow removal, when the snowplow comes along, is it flush or will it get caught by the snowplow as it scrapes along the street and the curb?
So that's a good question. The sticker itself you pound it into the concrete, so it actually takes the shape of the concrete. I mean, it's just like it had been painted. The plate sticks out from the curb, the one that I said that I don't think we should do, that's more expensive. That one could potentially actually get caught by something. It's still fairly flush, but not as flush as the sticker that actually takes on the bumps and everything in the concrete. The sticker is actually pounded in there, so it takes the exact form of the concrete. So it's actually almost embedded into the concrete. So yeah, if somebody drives by with a snowplow and chops up the curb, it's just like paint. A painted curb would get damaged also. But yeah, the aluminum sticker would be damaged. If it happens within a year, we can get a replacement for free.
Great, thank you.
Dale, what if you want to take it off? I mean, I don't know why you'd want to take the sticker off, but what if you did? Does the guy who manufactured it tell you how to take it off?
Yeah, I don't know anything about taking it off, that's for sure. And after putting the one in on my driveway, I can't imagine that would be easy to take it off.
Well, that's actually good, I guess. Okay, I have seen these stickers and I really do think they look good. My only concern is that we don't have anybody to install them. And because it requires, it's not simple because you have to clean, and as you said, and then use the big rubber mallet. I just don't, that worries me. I just don't know really how we're going to find somebody to do that, or some people. I know, Dale, you would love to do it all by yourself, but I won't let you, so.
Yeah, so
Susan.
I don't have a problem training people how to do it. I think what we need is a group of volunteers. I think that 2 people can do, 10 stickers or 15 stickers. It took me maybe 10 minutes to install stickers. So, 10 houses would be 100 minutes. So you're talking, you could do probably a street in maybe 2 hours, maybe quicker once you got the down. But basically, you just take a wire brush the area that you're going to put it on where the existing painted number is, and then take the backing off the sticker, put it on the curb, and then pound it in. It's really making sure you get all the edges in so that it doesn't come off accidentally, right? So that's the key, is making sure all the edges and everything is in. But yeah, you're right. That's the reason why we haven't purchased them yet, is we need a plan in order to make sure that happens, whether it's community volunteer service hours or whatever it is. But we would have to show them how to do it.
Dale, if the sticker starts to deteriorate, even if it's after 3 or 4 years, you can't remove the sticker. So you'd have, if you're going to do this the first time, then do you have to get your new sticker and line it up right? Is that going to be a problem when you go to finally replace it?
I don't think it's a problem because you would put it right back over, the top of the one that's there.
Okay.
As long as it's clean, the surface is clean. If it's embedded into the concrete, and as long as the surface is clean when you do the wire brush, it'll stick and it'll go right over it. It's no different than me putting the sticker over the existing painted area already. It's kind of the same thing. And
Okay.
if we went, and if, let's say they stopped manufacturing the stickers and they got bad, you could still paint over. If it's in there hard enough and it's been put in there correctly, then you can paint over that area and then paint new numbers over it too. If you, let's say if they stop manufacturing for whatever reason and we had to repaint the curbs, we could still do that.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions on the budget? Or, hey, how about somebody wants to volunteer to be the vice president since Lene is not going to be our vice president anymore? Anybody have anybody they want to nominate that's like not online and you just want to nominate it and we can just vote them in right now?
No, but I do have a question regarding the, I know I came in late, so maybe you guys already talked about, but we currently pay every 3 months for trash collection. Is that the same way with the county? Or do we have to pay all upfront for the whole year?
So the cost for the county trash collection services be imposed with your taxes, right? So if your mortgage company pays your taxes for you with your monthly payment, your PITI, then it would be part of that. So when your mortgage company calculates what you would need, then that would be part of your payment. Now, if you don't do that, if you don't have it set up where your mortgage company pays your taxes for you, then and you pay them on your own, then you would have to pay them on your own. And I think Lainey said that's twice a year. So it depends on how you currently pay your taxes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Lisa, what's going on with this Fairfax County school? What's going on? Oh my God.
I don't know. I work for Arlington.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, never mind. My bad.
No, Arlington is plugging away and distance learning is well going forward.
Awesome. Oh, yeah.
And I think Fairfax is, I think we're a really large county and I think teachers are doing a fantastic job. But I think the learning management system isn't able to support what is being asked of them. And I also think that parents should be monitoring their children at home so that they are acting responsibly when in these learning classes that are online. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, do we have anybody else questions for the community, the Civic Association, the budget, or nominations? I do have on their new business Fall Festival National Night Out, and I'm telling you right now that really not sure what's going to happen with the Fall Festival or the National Night Out until we get further along with the state response on staying at home or being able to have social gatherings. If we can't have a social gathering, then obviously the Fall Festival National Night Out money won't be spent. And that brings up a good point. Moni just said we have to vote for the budget. So all in favor of the budget, either raise your hand or say aye or type it in. I say aye.
Aye.
This is Troy, aye.
Dale, aye.
Andy, aye.
Sorry, if you're on mute and you haven't had a chance to vote, if there's anybody who objects to the vote to the budget, please say nay now. Okay, I don't hear any objections to the budget, so the budget is approved as proposed. All right. So since nobody came up with any nominations for the vice president, please let us know if you know somebody who may want to do it, and we'll contact them. Otherwise, if there's nobody else from the board who has anything to say, then we can end this meeting here shortly. I'll give a quick go around for the board. We'll start with Troy. You got anything?
Nope. Thank you for hosting this meeting. I think it went well.
Yeah, it seemed like Zoom worked out a little bit better. Susan, do you have anything?
I was just going to thank people who have paid their dues. It was really very supportive of you all to do so. I really didn't quite know what to expect once the newsletter went out. I don't feel really great about badgering people about paying dues, so under the circumstances. But I've been heartened by the fact that I'd say, I think it's 170 homes have paid, which is, you know, good. That's good. So thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good news. Mihi, do you have anything?
No, nothing. Sorry, I just completely missed this. Thanks, Monica.
I was wondering how you got in. Now I know. Monica, do you have anything?
No.
All right, she said no. She didn't unmute. Let's see. Andrew, did I get you already?
No, but I don't have anything.
Okay, and I don't think anybody else from the board is actually in. Oh, Lisa, you got anything? Sorry, Lisa.
No, I'm good, thanks.
The person with the money, I forgot. So that's it. And if nobody else has anything, I'll give you like 10 seconds. And after about 10 seconds, I'm going to end the meeting. And thank you all for coming, and thank you for your questions. And if you have any questions about the petition, please don't hesitate to write me an email, come down, send an email through the Civic Association website, Facebook, whatever means you can, and we'll try to answer that.
Oh, wait, Dale. So when did you say the petition might come in the mail?
So it was mailed out, should have been mailed out yesterday. So
okay.
it'll probably be 3 days. So I'm expecting Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
If it's not here by this coming Monday, then I'll have to find out why.
Okay.
It should have been here within a week. So by next Monday, if it's not here, we have a problem.
Okay, thanks.
All right, everyone, have a great night, and thank you.
Thanks, Joe.